What's up guys, welcome to this new video about knowing your intention. So today I want to tell you a really quick story about something that happened yesterday and actually gave me a very big epiphany about this and how you can apply it to your life as well. So essentially it's about calisthenics, the type of exercise where you use your body weight instead of free weights to grow your muscles. So I had been doing this for about 7 to 8 months. So before this, I actually did free weight exercises for I think a year and a half. Then I decided to transfer to calisthenics because it was a lot more convenient while I was traveling. So what I actually ended up doing was doing this for about 7 to 8 months. And what I noticed is my reps were going up. So up until this period, I started with the pull-up exercise, with the push-up exercise and a squat. And what I noticed is my reps were definitely going up from when I started. However, the reps didn't become much easier with time. So basically I was pushing harder instead of it becoming easier for me. And this kind of got me to think, like, what is actually going on? And I knew that something was off, because otherwise, usually what happens, especially if you eat right as well, and I was eating I was eating a lot of food, so that was not the problem. So I knew something was off. That's when I realized, literally yesterday, that I never really set the right intention when doing exercise. I did set an intention. The intention was to go up in reps and difficulty every day. So I always made sure that I increase the reps or difficulty every day. I did a reasonable volume of each exercise, so it wasn't too much. It was not like overloading the muscles, but I just made sure to do a little bit more every day than I did the previous day. But I was so focused just on the reps that I forgot what truly mattered when actually doing these exercises, which is doing the exercise properly and feeling it in the right muscles. That was the true intention, which what actually mattered, because what is the point of completing, let's say, 50 to 100 reps of an exercise? Keep in mind, it's body weight. What's the point if you are not feeling it in the right muscles? Then you're just doing the reps for the sake of the reps. And that's exactly what happened. So I just finished 45 rows and my jaw was literally more tense than my back or biceps, because I was so focused on the reps that I completely forgot to focus on my core and make sure that I wasn't spending all of my energy on forcing my jaw and contracting my jaw. The same with push-ups. I finished 36 push-ups, but I barely felt my chest activated at all. And yesterday I did 6 reps, really focusing on feeling it in the right muscles. And that's when I immediately felt it. So you can imagine how crazy this is. 36 push-ups, barely any chest activation, but 6 reps where I focused on it with intention and I could feel it instantaneously. And finally 26 pull-ups, but I barely felt my lats because I was too focused on the reps. So I started kind of cheating and pulling myself up with muscles that I shouldn't pull myself up with, if that makes sense. So all in all, it was not really going well. The intention was to go up in reps and I focused on that, and that's what I succeeded at. But the real intention was actually doing the exercise properly and growing the right muscles. I hadn't gotten clear on this for myself. And this happened because I was very attached to reps and numbers instead of execution. And this is something which I pretty much always had, especially in the gym as well, because you start to track your reps. In the beginning, you kind of don't want to focus on form because it's so easy and it's simple, and you feel like you just want to add so much weight to the bar immediately, or you feel like you want to do a difficult version of the exercise immediately, but it's definitely not worth it, because this is what happens as a result. You're going to become attached to ego-driven things instead of outcome-driven things. This is a really powerful sentence. I did come up with this myself. So for a while, I'm actually just going to focus on feeding the exercise in the right muscles. That's literally going to be my goal. I'm literally going to drop the reps. So instead of saying I'm going to do 3 sets of 10 reps, I'm literally going to do 3 sets of feeling it in my chest as much as possible and leaving 1 to 2 reps in the tank. Because if I go to failure, then obviously you're going to get the opposite effect, which is that you kind of burn out the muscles in a sense. I don't know how that's called, burn out the muscles, have no idea. Overload too much. So for you, really take a moment to consider in your health, work and relationships where you might have to get clear on your intention. So I'm going to give you some examples. What is your intention for actually doing something? In your health, for example, are you doing exercise for ego or outcome? We just covered that. Are you having your diet for pleasure or for fuel? And what do you value? Like if you value the pleasurable food, then obviously it's not a problem if you eat food that gives you pleasure. But if you value energy from food, if you value clean food, then it makes more sense to start seeing diet as fuel and to start having the intention of consuming food with the intention of increasing your energy instead of the intention to feel pleasure from it, if that makes sense. Same with sleep. Are you sleeping for the sake of it or to get more energy? Because I know some people, this might be the odd exception, that actually don't need to sleep more but actually need to sleep less. So if you're sleeping for the sake of sleep, then it's a bit strange. We usually sleep to get more energy, to make sure that our body gets enough rest. But if you do already get enough rest, it doesn't make sense to sleep more. The same with work. Are you working for effort? So are you working so that you say that you have worked, work for the sake of work? Are you working for numbers? So are you working to, for example, hit a certain amount of outreach every day? Are you working to hit a certain amount of hours every day? Is that the intention you're having? Or is the intention to actually do the work properly? Is the intention to actually create something of value? That's the true intention. At least what you can have. This is all this is all going to be subjective, of course, but in my opinion, it's better to get clear on your own intention on something first. Same with relationships. I'm not really too experienced with this, but are you dating for your ego or, for example, for the long term or short term? If you are if you're really looking for something long term, but you keep messaging people and trying to set up short-term things, then the intention is kind of conflicting and you're going to have a problem. So it's really important that you get clear on your intention for actually doing something. So the main principle that we covered today was knowing your intention. The main action you want to take is list out your goal first of all, because most things depend on the goal. Like if your goal is not to live an amazing life, then you don't even need to do this. Because obviously there has to be a goal and the intentions behind the goal and actions. So just list that out, your goal and the intentions behind the goal and the actions. So the reason I'm saying goal here is because you also want to make sure that the goal you're pursuing is of a genuine intention. Because if you're pursuing a goal but you don't know why exactly and the intention is not pure, let's say you're chasing the goal for ego instead of outcome, then you're also going to have a problem. So don't just set the goal of like 10K a month, because that is guaranteed to be an ego goal. Because if you could not spend the money, would you still want the money? Probably not. So you have to get clear on what it is you would do with the 10K a month. And the main reflection you want to do is reflecting on the intention behind the goal and actions. So what I mean is just take like a couple of minutes every week, every month, where you just review your intention on things. Because I already knew about this, but for some reason 7 to 8 months of my life passed by and I recently just realized this. So it's important that even though you do know about this right now, also reflect on it so you don't forget about it too. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. Hope you enjoyed it. Looking forward to seeing you in the next